Mondstadt is a perfect starting town for a game like Genshin Impact. In so many games, tutorial sections feel like you're stuck on rails, being told what to do or shown menus for an hour before the real adventure begins. These areas exist to teach, but not to inspire, and they usually end up being forgettable once you move on. But Mondstadt's different. It teaches you by showing, not by telling, and it doesn't just explain the mechanics of Genshin Impact, it lets you understand how the world of Teyvat works. It's a place where gameplay and world building blend seamlessly into each other, creating something that feels alive and memorable and logical. When you first enter Mondstadt, the game treats you to a stunning visual introduction. There are vines twisting up stone walls, towering windmills that turn gently in the breeze, and there's sunlight dancing across the plentiful rooftops in the town. Everything in view, every building, every motion, it's all telling you something about this place. The windmills, for example, say a lot without even a single line of dialogue. On the surface, they're reminding you that this is a city of the wind element, the animo element, but when you look closer, they're telling a deeper story, that Mondstadt is a town built on agriculture and trade. Windmills, after all, can be used to grind grain and pump water, and Mondstadt's abundance of wind and water make that choice feel natural. The city's design makes sense. It's a living, breathing ecosystem and one that could be believable in the real world. This is world building that works through logic and atmosphere. You don't need another character to tell you what kind of city this is. You can feel it the moment you walk through the gates. Outside of combat, Genshin Impact's most defining feature is its movement. Running, jumping, climbing, gliding, everything to do with exploration, it all feels fluid and empowering. Mondstadt is the first real place where you're encouraged to experiment with that. As the home of the Animo Archon, it's fitting that Mondstadt's layout embraces open skies and verticality. There are towering cathedrals, tall windmills, and layered walkways that invite you to explore in every direction. You quickly realize that climbing isn't just an option, it's actually the most efficient and expressive way to move. Those staircases and walkways I was talking about typically wind across the outside of the town, where there are these layered walls throughout the center of the town, and you quickly get to realize that wall climbing is the fast way through the center of the town, whereas walking is the long way, or the outer perimeter of the town. But this is your tutorial of stamina management in an organic way, through natural design. If you sprint nonstop, you'll run out of breath before you reach a wall, and then you can't climb up. But if you pause and recover and time your jumps, even at your base stamina, you can scale any of the walls in Mondstadt with ease. In Mondstadt, you get to learn the game by playing the game. And that's what ultimately makes this such an effective tutorial to me. It's masquerading as a place that you just want to spend time in. The music of Mondstadt is nothing short of incredible. Its orchestral score feels light and airy, with woodwind melodies, gentle percussion, soft strings, and no loud percussion or brass instruments. This is a deliberate choice here to keep the sound calm and uplifting, mirroring the city's ideals of freedom and open skies. Another very intentional choice with the music is you can always hear the wind. Whether it's the breeze flowing through the city during a quiet nighttime piano track, or whether you hear the air of a flute in the more active daytime piece, air is an ever-present part of the instrumentation, which is incredibly clever considering it's the city that worships the Animo god. It's music that never overpowers you. Instead, it gives space for the player to breathe, to listen to the wind, to the birds, and to the quiet rhythm of a city at peace. That sense of gentleness sets the tone for Genshin Impact's entire world, laying a foundation for the sweeping emotional tracks you'll hear later, and ultimately assuring you that all of the composition will be done this thoughtfully. Mondstadt isn't just a mechanical and atmospheric showcase, it's also culturally alive. The city reflects its people's values in every corner. Its citizens adore art, music, and literature. You hear it in conversations around the town, and you see it in quests. Lisa's story revolves around books, not rare tomes or artifacts, but ordinary works she treasures deeply. You go on a whole fetch quest to find a lost copy of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, but in this game's reality. Diluc, one of the city's most successful figures, runs a tavern famous for its dandelion wine and live performances. Even Venti, the Animo Archon himself, takes the form of a bard, a symbol of creativity and free expression, a musician. Every piece of the city tells you that art matters here. It's not just decoration, it's a philosophy. Mondstadt believes in the human spirit, in the joy of creation, and in the freedom to express oneself. That leads me nicely into the root of what makes this city so great. Mondstadt is a city defined by freedom, and that theme runs deep. The city has no formal government, only two guiding institutions, the Knights of Favonius, who protect its people, and the Church of Favonius, who offer faith and community to the residents of the city. Even their name, Favonius, comes from the Latin Favonius, meaning the west wind, and to be Favonian is to be gentle, mild, and favorable, qualities that are reflected in how the knights and citizens treat one another. The church worships Barbados, the Animo Archon who freed Mondstadt from a tyrant god and then chose to live among the people, not above them. This act of stepping down from power defines the city's spirit: freedom through kindness and leadership through humility. Even early quests reinforce this, like the one where you read from the Knight's Handbook and learn how to greet outsiders kindly. Granted, the delivery in the quest is stiff, referring to someone as a strange yet respectable traveler, but it's a small moment that shows that Mondstadt's freedom isn't chaos, it's built on trust, respect, and open hearts. Mondstadt ultimately succeeds because it trusts the player. It doesn't hold your hand, it invites you to explore. It doesn't tell you what freedom means, it lets you feel it. Through its design, its music, and its people, Mondstadt quietly teaches you everything you need to know about Genshin Impact and Teyvat itself from the beginning. This is a world driven by curiosity, by exploration, by freedom. That's why Mondstadt isn't just a starting town to me. It's a perfect embodiment of what Genshin Impact stands for, and it's a place where learning feels like living, and freedom isn't just an idea, but it's an experience. Thank you all for listening until the end of the video. I wanted to create this as a farewell piece to the city of Mondstadt, as very soon I'm going to be moving on in my Let's Play series. This town and introduction to the game seriously impressed me, and I wanted to give it a proper goodbye. If you enjoyed this, make sure to like the video and let me know what you love or don't love about Mondstadt. I would love to hear it, and I always read every comment. Also, if you like this style of video, make sure you subscribe to get notified whenever I post. I'm getting very close to 1,000 subscribers, and I couldn't be more amazed and grateful at the support I've gotten thus far. This community really blows me away more and more every day. Thank you all so much for watching and listening, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.